There is 12% needless worries about health, and there is 10% of petty miscellaneous issues, and there is only 8% of worries, real worries, which half we can do little about and the other half we can. So we should worry only 4% now. Out of the 100, we know 40% will never happen, and 30% which we cannot do anything, and 12% of the health worries, we should not worry about it, we should have a preventive methods, and then miscellaneous issues which are not under, and there are some worries which are not in our control, so we cannot do anything. So only what we can do is 4% of worries which are practical and which we can take it up. So keeping this in view, our personality has to get enhanced by how we think, how we feel, how we behave, and is made of our character and our personality. Underneath it, all the root cause is our problems. So how can our character, if we think of a tree, root is our character, and the tree branches are our personality. So the root cause are the problems. So we do get, first is panic. From panic we get into depression to anxiety. We start with anxiety, then with anxiety we get panic, then depression, then we get into more anxiety, then more panic, and then more depression. So anxiety will take you to more depression. So that's why we need anxiety management. Many people experience anxiety for various reasons, such as change of lifestyle, career, job responsibilities, or even a change of location. Some experience it when they have problems in their relationships, be it either at personal or professional level. Working people may also become anxious because they work too hard to feel that they are unable to do their tasks within the required period. Whatever may be the cause, it is important to remember that anxiety should be managed and controlled before it gets more or worse. Unfortunately, only few people realize they are already suffering from anxiety. It is therefore essential to be aware of anxiety symptoms so that the problem can be addressed at its onset. Dear friends, why should we get training in anxiety management? The main objective of the training will be to understand the concept behind anxiety management, know the various signs and symptoms of anxiety, know the factors that trigger anxiety, know the negative effects of anxiety on personal and career aspects, learn how to prevent anxiety by knowing how to deal with conflicts and difficulties, learn how to prevent anxiety through exercise and breathing techniques. Dear friends, so we need to discuss about what is anxiety management, what are the anxiety triggers, anxiety signs and symptoms, stress and anxiety, personal life anxiety management, how to handle workplace anxiety, and how to deal with difficult co-workers. We also should know to avoid anxiety at workplace, impact of anxiety on our health, the fight or flight response, managing time to reduce anxiety, relaxation exercises, meditation and breathing exercises, stay focused on our goals, and anxiety lowering health habits. So what is anxiety management? Anxiety management is the method of dealing with anxiety in order to minimize the negative consequences and effects of such feeling. The essential elements of this process is to understand the presence of anxiety, identifying the symptoms, knowing the level of anxiety, whether a mild feeling of worry or a serious anxiety attack, and applying a call to action before the situation gets worse. Dear friends, appropriate and inappropriate anxiety. Famous Freud, the psychologist, who was the first person to categorize anxiety into two classifications, which are appropriate and which are inappropriate. This notion is still generally accepted today. Appropriate anxiety is when you are in your rational mind to prepare yourself for any consequences or any other danger that anxiety may present. Symptoms of anxiety, indications that a person is feeling anxious, may be aptly divided into two types again: physical and psychological. Physical symptoms of anxiety may include sweating, increased breathlessness or heartbeat, shortness of breath and other breathing difficulties, chest pains, disturbed stomach, headache, and nausea. The anxious person trembles, slutters and stutters when speaking, and sweats a lot. Muscle tension is also a very common symptom which can possibly lead to uncontrollable shaking. So, how do we manage this anxiety? Anxiety management techniques may be in the form of psychological, physical, and cognitive approach. It is important that a person should know how to deal with anxiety so the situation will not get out of hand. There are regular anxiety management techniques to follow, while anxiety therapy is also an option for worst cases. Anxiety triggers. We say anxiety triggers. Situations. How does it trigger? When we face a situation that prompts us to feel disturbed and threatened, we call that the feeling of anxiety. We get anxious if we don't see things coming, and when it's there, we are totally at a loss of what to do. The same feeling comes out when you are anticipating a situation to happen and your stimuli produces a negative response or you run away from it. Dear friends, the subconscious mind. We did speak about mind, ego, superego, and it. In this subconscious mind, the many causes or triggers of anxiety will result to the feeling of anxiety or worse with anxiety attacks. A person is triggered or prompted to feel anxious when an unusual or disturbing situation arises that could possibly pose danger or negative consequences. The past experiences of an individual, which are stored in the subconscious mind, whether good or bad, may be associated with these causes. That's why sometimes we always avoid telling news or information which will cause anxiety to people who have high blood pressure or low blood pressure or who are always get tense. So to those people, we have to tell slowly, prepare the situation for them, for the worst to accept it, and then tell, not give the news suddenly. It will be a shock. Factors of anxiety triggers. The feeling of anxiety starts out from these thoughts because there is fear building up along with these thoughts. Instead of accepting it as a challenge or on a more positive side, that it as self-appreciation of the hard work. Another factor includes relationship issues such as separation, divorce, getting fired, and the like. These things also cause anxiety. In the case of professionals, If you are committed a failure in your work, you can't help but keep on entertaining unwanted thoughts of being fired or demoted or suspended. So, anxiety disorder. What is this anxiety disorder? Anxiety disorder results from an extreme feeling of being anxious, different from the normal anxiety feeling over a typical situation. Phobias are examples of anxious disorder. We all have our own fears, but not knowing how to face those fears would lead to a chronic feeling of anxiety. So, the signs and symptoms of anxiety. Dear friends, anxiety even motivates us to think and find ways to solve problems. Normal anxiety develops into a more intense condition when you run away from what you think is threatening instead of battling it. When you allow the feeling to knock you off your strength to overcome it, and when it gets in the way with your relationship with other people and your normal day to day activities. Self evaluation. We can never get away with anxiety because we all experience the feeling. Just like any other form of emotion, anxiety is a general and natural reaction to a certain fear or threatening condition. It is important that we know how to tell or recognize the feeling when it comes to us so we would know what to do. Here are some questions you can try asking yourself to check if you are getting the symptom of anxiety. Do you worry about things more than often? Do you believe that a negative or undesirable outcome occurs if you fail to do things the way it should be? Do you run away from your everyday problems at work or at home? Do you keep things to yourself when you feel something bad? Are you eaten by your fear or nervousness when it gets to you? Do you feel like danger is everywhere or threat can attack you any minute? Do you think more of the negative consequences over a situation rather than brighter side of it? Emotional and psychological signs and symptoms. When you worry, the mind is bothered and troubled. Being restless is also nervousness. A person may pace back and forth or keep on constantly moving, and those are signs of being restless. When you are feeling tense and agitated and you have trouble concentrating, you are anxious. Physical signs and symptoms. These physical conditions affect other symptoms of the body, and so the anxious person would also possibly experience stomach trouble, headache, frequent urination, and sleep trouble or insomnia. Exerting physical effort to battle anxiety makes the body produce sweat. Sweating is a physical symptom of anxiety. Stress and anxiety. The concept of anxiety and stress is nonetheless very much the same. However, anxiety is a result of stress. One factor or reason that triggers an individual to be anxious is due to stress. It is normal to feel anxious, but the problem starts when you fail to overcome the feeling and allow it to grow instead. The power of positive thinking. Now, since we have talked about stress being a trigger of anxiety, let us discover how to cope with stress to keep it from becoming a feeling of anxiety. People who cope well with stress and those who remain unshaken or unaffected by stress have a stronger and firmer approach to life's obstacles. Knowing how to battle anxiety and stress. If you foresee any form of threat or danger in a situation, never face your back or walk away from it because it always keeps coming back. You may avoid it, but the relief you will feel is something temporary, and when you are posed with the same situation, the same feeling will haunt you again, and you will eventually have to shun yourself from whatever that is your entire life. Yes, friends. So, personal life anxiety management. Stress triggers anxiety. So, when you feel stressed about a situation and you think it will lead to something, you develop an anxious feeling. You get anxious when your mind and body responds to what you think is a possibly danger or threat. It is like an automatic alarm and a natural response that is conditioned in our body. Dear friends, then what is the self-reflection? The questions for self-evaluation on reflection is, do you give yourself a break and set aside a time for relaxation every day? Are you maintaining a regular exercise habit? Are you coping well with responsibilities at work and at home? Do you get the emotional support that you need from people close to you? Do you seek for assistance when you needed it? Do you have an outlet for letting go of unwanted stress after a day's work? Dear friends, self-help for anxiety relief. Reflect on these questions and assess whether you are getting a no on most of your answers. If that is the case, there is some work that needs to be done to fix your outlook in life and even the form of lifestyle you are following. If you are burdened with responsibilities, sort them through. Complementary techniques to anxiety. Apart from being a self-evaluation, there are simple ways to manage anxiety. Exercise is known to be a very effective self-meditation to almost all forms of conditions. A regular exercise is proven to significantly relieve a person from anxiety and stress. Relaxation techniques can be another option. This may be done through self-meditation, muscle relaxation, regularization of breathing, and visualization. Dear friends, how to handle workplace anxiety? That's the most important factor in our life today. Our workplace or the work environment is one of the most common causes of anxiety. At work, you encounter obstacles, problems, and petty issues with co-workers. However, the feeling of anxiety can be helpful sometimes at work. Factors causing work anxiety in the workplace. First, we should understand what are the factors that cause anxiety. There are a wide range of factors that cause anxiety in the work environment. These factors can be categorized into two classifications. An employee should be aware what causes the feelings of worry and loss of motivation at work so that appropriate measures can be done once these factors are identified. Nature of the job and the work environment. These factors are unique to the scope of work on the job description of the employee. A worker may develop anxiety if the workload assignment is either too heavy or too light for the person to take. When the system in the office follows an autonomous approach, having to decide on your work about work decisions without the supervisor to assist can also create anxiety. Organizational roles. One example for this factor may be role conflict in the organization, such as multiple bosses and conflicting job demands. Having more than one superior means having multiple tasks too. Another one would be role ambiguity or not clear delegation of work and not setting proper work expectations. Dear friends, so we have to work on career development. Job demotion and under promotion worries an employee so much. Lack of opportunities for career development decreases motivation. Possibilities of layoff and getting fired due to company shutdown makes a worker feel hopeless. Poor performance evaluation also causes anxiety to develop. Employees do not take so much interest in the job if there is no proper compensation and performance recognition. So, what is the relationship with co workers? Dear friends, issues with socialization among employees become a common problem in the workplace. A worker may have a hard time dealing with a difficult boss or even difficult co workers. Reciprocally, a supervisor may find it challenging to handle difficult subordinates or members. Other possible reasons about work relationship that cause anxiety are office threats, harassment, and bullying. So let us talk about some advices to the managers and the employees. If you are an employer or a part of the higher management, you should maintain professionalism in dealing with difficult and challenging employees, because if you lose composure, you get stressed as well. Make sure that they are aptly compensated and their work efforts are recognized, so you will not handle problematic workers in your company due to loss of work and interest. Allow time for mingling with them or conduct a healthy open forum so both parties can express themselves. Dear friends, especially the employees must work on it, because most of us in the corporates, the top management, but most of the employees who are experiencing work anxiety should consider their personal decision about staying in the job or not. A simple step as identifying your strong and weak point will be a good start. Be logical in decision making and trust your instincts. If there is a need for assistance, do not hesitate to approach your colleagues. If problems or work issues arise, talk it out with your supervisor. Then how do we deal with difficult co-workers? We do have. Even we might be a difficult co-worker for the other person. In the work environment, you either get along with co-workers who are easy to work with, or you stumble upon rude and nasty office mates. The latter is challenging because you cannot get away with them. You see them every day. There are different types of difficult co-workers. Difficult people may come in varying personalities. They can be nice and amicable but still be difficult. The chatterbox and gossipers, the most worry thing in the workplace is you have to be very, very careful with these gossip mongers and the chatterboxes. Have one thing in common: they talk a lot. The gossipers, on the other hand, talk about everything about everyone in the office. They can even be the cause of petty quarrels and heated arguments because of spreading false information. Gossipers do not choose their victims. Then there might be complainers, who are people find winning a better ritual than being discreet and diplomatic. Another type of difficult co-worker is the negativist. The bullies are scary and nasty. They are hostile people who can be accusing, intimidating, and confrontational. Bullies are one of the most difficult to handle. And the last type of difficult people at work is know-it-all. Dear friends, identifying different levels of difficult behavior. When dealing with a difficult colleague at work, it is important to assess the level of difficulty of the person's behavior. The most important is the difficult behavior. A nice conversation and compromise will soften the problematic attitude. Then you will find a challenging behavior wherein the co-worker's annoying character is chronic. Then toxic behavior is a different type. Here the worst kind of attitude of a difficult co-worker. So how do you deal with this difficult office colleagues? Do not avoid the issue or the situation. Empathize with your co-worker. If the person is being vulgar, do not be verbally and physically offensive as well. Instead, be in the right mind to initiate the solution to such attitude problem, and the goal should always be to bring back a harmonious work relationship. Dear friends, you should also know how to avoid anxiety because of these co-workers. Have your experience being given a project which you think is too heavy a responsibility for you to handle. If you feel that, you should know that is an obligation that should be carried out. And then you start to feel the pressure at work. The burden a person feels caused by stress at work is a big factor causing anxiety. Everyone feels anxiety or anxiousness when they know that pressure is sinking in every nerve of the body. So, build a positive mind. That is the most important thing. Then maintain professionalism. Build a positive mind within yourself. Seek help when necessary. Then what is the impact of this anxiety on the health? You should know that there will be physical symptoms too, like you start to shake and sweat, hands get cold, increased heartbeat and rapid breathing. So you can choose to either fight or run away. This strategy is called the fight or flight response. Side effects of long-term anxiety. We have to be very careful because there should not be a long-term anxiety. So we have to understand the anxiety disorder. What are the different disorders, anxiety disorders? Anxiety disorder may come in different types, like phobia is an example of mental problem causing anxiety. Obsessive compulsive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder. So there are many phobias and fears, as we said. The most important 10 phobias or 10 fears are fear of flying, public speaking. Many people have this fear. Fear of height, the darkness fear, the intimacy fear. Sometimes we have the fear of death too. Fear of failure. The most important is the rejection. Fear of spiders also, sometimes people are worried, or commitment fear of. So all these are phobias, and these phobias will worry. So our fears might be we want to get rid of the fear or the loneliness or overcome of the darkness or fear of abandonment or intimacy or rejection, or sometimes fear of dogs too. All this will cause us completely anxiety, and this anxiety will get into anxiety disorders, and we should know how to deal with such fears. And most important for such fears is the confidence. If you are having self-confidence and willpower, you can overcome all these fears. And we have to understand the most important of the fears is loneliness. We have to know how to deal with our loneliness too. All of us should understand that you have to start liking your loneliness. The moment you start liking your loneliness, then you will enjoy your life. So you will not have panic attacks too. And you should know how to reduce this anxiety. Productivity and efficiency at work are achieved with proper time management. An 8-hour work day does not seem to be enough to accomplish the work needed to be done within the day. So this results in anxiety. Excuse me. So we should have good organizational skills. Time management requires discipline. Making time management a habit. Relaxation exercises. You should relax in between. You should do your work at the same time. You should enjoy your work. The moment you enjoy your work, you will never get into anxiety. And start giving relaxation also in between your work. Listen to music, getting a regular exercise or watching television, sleeping or reading your favorite book, or muscle relaxation or deep breathing exercises. All these will give you relaxation. So you should know how to do all these things in between your work. Then you will have a real good interest in your work. And the moment your interest comes into work, anxiety will go off. And quieting the mind. Your mind should be quiet. Then anxiety will come down. If you are agitated, your agitating mind will increase your anxiety, anxiousness. Guiding imagery. Guided imagery is another form of relaxation technique it is. And you should know how to relax. Concentrate on the scenario and vividly picture yourself on it. Then you will definitely know what will happen. So you can, like a futurologist, say, okay, if what will happen, think of it and then take preventive measures. Stay focused on your goals. Goal is the most important thing. So to reach that goal, you have to take different paths. Sometimes you may be a picture yourself as someone whom you really admire and then start visualizing and practice it. Visualization is the relaxing of your mind. Creative visualization should be there. Visualization, as we discussed in visualization, a powerful technique to achieve whatever it is you want to accomplish in your life. And visualize and materialize. The moment you visualize it, you can describe a picture without showing a picture. Anxiety will lower your healthy habits also. Whatever healthy habits you have, if because due to anxiety, it will lower your habits too. So do a regular exercise, quality sleep. You should have quality sleep. 4 to 5 hours sleep is not at all quality sleep. Most corporators do sleep only 4 to 5 hours. No. Different 6 to 7 hours quality sleep will make your whole day perfect. And your positive thinking. There are many worries, and those worries, like you should get out of your past, or sometimes you're watching, you're not able to stop seeing TV, or you don't know how to get rid of performance anxiety, or mentally sharpness, or chronic worry. All these worries also you should not do it, because if you start worrying it, your anxiety levels will increase. Don't worry about the person or people in your past. There's a reason they did not make it to your future. So understand that they will. So getting over the past is the most important thing. And think of the future. Today the past is over. Yeah, it will haunt you. But see that it doesn't come into your mind, or speak it out. Whatever it is, don't keep it in the mind, just speak it out. So you have said it out. Because try to understand and use both sides of your brain, right and left. Then only you will be very healthy and creative. And be an observer. Eat right. Drink lot of water. Meditate, and this will help you to reduce your chronic worry, and then the anxiety levels will be in a proper way, and that will help you to manage your anxiety. Anxiety management is the most important factor in our self-integration. Dear friends, this will let us do a small worksheet on fear. There is a questionnaire on fears. You please just go through the questionnaire, answer it, and face the mirror. Face in the mirror is an exercise. Just see it how you can do this worksheet and send it. Thank you. Welcome, friends. Today in this session we will be talking about people skills and social skills. Now there are many social skills where we all have to understand. Why take the time to develop exceptional people skills? There are few reasons, like get paid more, become more successful at work, improve the quality of our relationship at home. When you express yourself with charity and skill, and clarity is the most important thing, you have less potential for confusion, disagreement, and relationship problems. Understand other people better. Be in control of your life. Dear friends, the importance of social skills are to impact upon your reputation and your brand. The people skills business helps service-led organizations to develop skills and engage their people to deliver great service to their customers. We achieve this through implementation of tools and development programs in the areas like recruitment and ways of working, service delivery, managing people, developing people, and we also understand that there are many triads which are to be rewarded, like frame flattery as advice seeking, argue before accepting a manager's opinion, compliment the manager, act as if you realize that flattery will make the manager uncomfortable or uncomfortable, agree with the manager's values before agreeing with his or her opinions, tell the manager's friends how much you agree with his or her values, bring up affiliations you think you may have in common with the manager. So these are, now let us see what are these people skills. There are 5 keys to interpersonal success, and all the interpersonal success you will have it, you can hone it, the people skills. It is guaranteed. If your interpersonal skills are good, your people skills also will be good. Recognize the difference in people and be ready to adapt. Learn to listen well. Realize that communication is more than just the words we use. Learn to manage conflict rather than avoid it. Be known for positive rather than negative interactions. Developing excellent people skills require recognition of differences, listening, awareness of the different aspects of communication, strategies for managing conflict, and optimistic outlook. You can improve your people skills if you remember an individual's interpersonal style is not just who he is or she is. It is he who or she chooses to be. People skills, according to Portland Business Journal, people skills are often described as understanding ourselves and moderating our responses, talking effectively and capturing and empathizing accurately, building relationships of trust, respect, and productive interactions. A British definition, the ability to communicate effectively with people in a friendly way, especially in business. The term is not listed yet in major US dictionaries, but the term people skills is used to include both psychological skills and social skills, but is less inclusive than life skills. People skills are the social techniques you use to develop relationships, communicate with others, negotiate compromises, and understand the needs of those around you. Dear friends, listening is very important in people skills. Practice being a good listener. Be open to the views of others Be friendly during a conversation, even if the other person's tone is heated. Show respect for the opinions of other people. Communicate feedback. Use specifics while criticizing. If your advice is too general or abstract, it will frustrate others rather than help. Don't address irrelevant issues. Don't be threatening. Knowing they are in a supportive atmosphere will encourage them to make and maintain meaningful changes. Dear friends, initiating relationship is very important. Initiating relationship will help you develop new contacts and new friends. Go out of your way to have conversations with new people. Start a conversation and practice your listening and communicative skills. Find people from different backgrounds than your own. Be opening yourself up to new people. You will develop an ability to carry on a conversation with anyone. Dear friends, there are 8 essential people skills. Let us see what are these 8. These 8 will enable to communicate effectively with others. Understanding the people. Yes, we have to understand individual preference styles using their languages, their body gestures and their pace and intonation. Expressing your thoughts and feelings clearly. Your message needs to be clear, succinct and to the point. Speaking up when your needs are not being met. Just as important is business relationship as in domestic ones. Speaking up to ensure that your needs are met in a fundamental part of any relationship. Asking for feedback from others and giving quality feedback in return. CRC means command, comment, recommend and then comment. A 3-step one. Influencing how others think and act. Just saying hello as a way of influencing someone's mood to leading by an example. Bring conflicts to the surface and get them resolved. Collaborating with others instead of doing things by yourself. Shifting gears with relationships are unproductive. The whole idea of being people skilled is knowing or finding out how to bring out the best in others in any situation rather than their worst. By mastering these 8 essential people skills, you dramatically increase your chances of achieving the best outcomes of your interactions and business challenges. Dear friends, there are 9 essential people skills for successful managers. Yes, you all being managers, do your part to keep the tradition alive. Like rescue it, recycle it, or regift it. All your people skills. Using excellent people skills in the best way in influence the members of your team, your boss or all your co-workers. There are some skills we said, 9 skills. Understand how people communicate. Express your thoughts and feelings clearly. Speaking up when your needs are not being met. Asking for feedback and giving quality feedback in return. Influencing how others think and act. Bringing conflicts to the surface and getting them resolved. Collaborating with others. Shifting gears with relationship with unproductive, clearly defined working relationships. Dear friends, these are the people skills, all the 9 people skills. For example, speaking up when your needs are not being met, you have to be very, very clear because the chances are the need you have to being met is realistic to one of the things like morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, acceptance of fact, prejudice, self-esteem, confidence, achievement and respect. So please ask the influence others and think and act in consistency, liking, reciprocity, scarcity and social proof, and collaborate with others, avoiding solving something and accommodating yourself, compromising and competing. Shift the gears when the relationships are unproductive. Now, define work relationship. How can you clearly define a work relationship? Is clarify your relationship. Don't play favorites. Keep it confidential. Face the firing line. Be conversational. Be reliable. Be trustworthy. People skills are met. It will also have an experience in all the activities. So let us say it will give you strength in arranging, in coaching, confronting, counseling, delegating. So mentoring, negotiating, instructing, supervising, persuading, speaking and serving, helping, all these are people skills. Entertaining, explaining, expressing feelings, group facilitation, handling complaints, initiating, interviewing, investigating, locating, managing, mediation, meeting the public, motivation, negotiation, organizing, persuading, questioning, recruiting, selling, speaking, supervising, teaching. All these are people skills. Then what are social skills? When we talk about people skills, automatically the social skills also come up. The social skills are the skills we have to get along with other people. We say people skills, how best we will be, but then developing the social skills like to be other kind of skills that can be learned. How these skills need to improve your social skills? Ask yourself if you consider yourself a shy person, wish that you had more friends but do not know how to get about making them, often feel uncomfortable with other people, find it hard to make what they say, sometimes think of yourself as a loner. Dear friends, yes, when you ask such things to yourself, then only you will know what are the skills you have. Basic social skills are basic interaction skills. And what they are eye contact, smiling, confident body language, basic politeness, showing interest in others, making conversations, talking, turning when talking, listening, because you have to take turn, wait for the others. Small talks, nodding and smiling, using humor and knowing. Building and maintaining friendship, approach skills, sharing decision making, showing appreciate affection and appreciation, maintaining contact, being supportive, alliance, distance and closeness, thoughtfulness. Empathy is a very important factor in social skills. Dealing with conflict is very important in the social skills. Assertiveness, negotiation skills, and your people skills are three. How you can leading, communicating, building relationship and influencing. Social skills are the skills we have to get along with other people. So developing these social skills are how consider yourself, understand how you are going to, basic interaction skills, showing confident body language, so making conversations, taking turns when talking. Now building and maintaining friendship is the most important thing. As we said, empathy is very important, noticing other people's feelings, expressing concern at others' distress, being able to recognize what someone else might be feeling, showing sensitivity and dealing with conflict. Social interactions do not always run smooth. Assertiveness and negotiation skills are very important. What about social skills while growing up? There is a different package. How your children grow up with social skills and how you can teach them. You can go through click there, the social skills for the youngsters. And encouragements, how you put it, perspective talking, how you will deal with it. Impulse control is a very important ability to control your thoughts and desires. Developing gratification, the ability to delay gratification of needs and desires. Conflict resolution, the ability to solve the interpersonal problems satisfactorily. Having each child challenges, life's challenges, the people with whom you are relating, and the place or event or the cultural setting. All are important. Now, social skills, some of the social skills like greeting, introducing someone, handling anger, making requests, responding to requests from others, general social responses, mealtime etiquette, restaurant etiquette, personal hygiene and grooming, respecting others properly, respecting social boundaries, touching private topics. All these are social skills. And practicing this and teaching these skills are very important. Identify the skill are learned prior by the actual event. Social skills need to be taught in small steps, practice best in the role play and real life interactions. Dear friends, leading, managing, relating culturally, relating with others and communicating are your social skills in the corporate. So what are social skills again? Now the social skills are not, it is an ability to interpret situations. We do start developing these skills surviving in the corporate jungle. How do we survive in the corporate jungle with these social skills is a very important one. Practice taking the instructions is the most important thing. Listen, clarify, understand. Practice explaining a problem to your superior. Practice asking for help. Practice accepting a feedback. Practice giving constructive criticism and giving this criticism. Practice receiving complaints and practice giving compliments. All these are a very important practices which you have to make in the social skills, especially in the corporate world. There are mantras to boost your professional work. Now, there are KPOs nowadays. Of course, BPOs are there, but KPOs have to be on the spotlight. KPO means knowledge process outsourcing is a very important thing, and that's the most important social skill today we need to have. It is in a global scenario. Now, ability to market yourself, presentation, English language, interpersonal skills, phonic etiquette. Phone etiquette is a very important. Diction, email etiquette, dress codes, handshakes, business card etiquette. All these are the mantras for you to live in a proper corporate life. So, social skills training nowadays we have. It is called SST. Now, in a SST, we have to understand the definition is a form of behavior therapy used by teachers, therapists, and trainers to help persons to have difficulties relating to other people. It has a good purpose of training and the treatment of specific disorders like shyness, adjustment with disorders, marital and family conflicts, anxiety disorders, attention deficit and hyperactivity disorders also are considered in this training. Social phobia, alcohol dependence, depression, bipolar disorders, developmental disabilities, avoidant personality disorders, paranoid personality disorders, obsessive compulsive disorders, and personality disorders. All these are come under the social skills training because this training helps you to, without knowing we might be having some of these phobias, so we have to come out of it and have it. There should be a precaution in this training. We should know the actual problem and the description of each skill has to be explained. Content of the training should be very good. You should not overdo it, you should not underdo it. You have to pick up a person, you have to pick up a client and see that they really know. The common focus of SST program is communication skills, and you have to be very, very effectively communicative. And scheduling it, how do you schedule it? That's also very important. Culture and gender issues also are there in this training. Generalization of transfer of skills is also to be considered, and you should prepare for this training. And aftercare is also necessary. Normal result. Now all these are normal people. They are not actually patients or anybody. They are not seriously ill, but you might find some. So instead of snubbing them, you can train them. So role playing sometimes will be very important in social skills training. And please go ahead with the role playing briefing, role playing observations and feedbacks, and role playing rules. Very simple rules. You can, like, stop, think and do is the most important social skill learning. So understand the thing. So skills and competences used in corporatism. There are skills which are used in so you can go through how are my social skills, and how to find out these skills and completely understand them, and make use of these skills. And dear friends, do the worksheet and send it to us. Thank you. Welcome friends. Today, under the self-integration personal qualities, we'll be talking about anger management. Now, anger management is the most important aspect in our life. Anger, we have to identify our feelings first. Anger that leads to physical violence is serious and needs appropriate intervention also. This can be used for those individuals whose anger management issues cause them problems like loss of a job, but do not cause significant harm to themselves or those around them. Identify at least 3 feelings or emotions. Identify the difference between negative or bad emotions and negative behavior. Identify different types of feelings or emotions. All these things, when we are identifying the feelings, we should make a list of many of these emotions as possible, and identifying different situations in which we feel, which are having a common emotions such as happiness, sadness, anger, fear and excitement. Differentiate between the feeling of anger and the behavior of anger. Then we have to recognize the anger. First we have to identify our feeling and then recognize the anger. Now, identifying at least 3 physiological responses that are cues that a person may be upset. We should we can have an anger journal for 1 week and identify how bodies feel when they get upset. We should observe ourselves when we get upset, how we feel it, and then recognize the signs of getting angry by paying attention to our behavior, like raising voice, pacing, rubbing head, etc. And feeling indicate that a person has a choice at this point. We can see sometimes we yell, hit or curse or do something mean. You see people doing all these things, or we can also see something more appropriate like an anger journal. Like anger journal provides information or what upsets a person. It provides information about how we respond or they respond, and it also provides information for a group discussion. Dear friends, anger journal is the most important thing which we can maintain it. Now we have to cope with the skills. Assertion training is needed. Coping skills for self-talk, relaxation, then deep breathing technique. This is the most important thing. Deep breathing to a comfortable position. We should. And in the anger control, the first is prepare for the provocation. Always prepare for the provocation. People do provocate us, and confront in provocation. Don't confront them. Coping with the arousal and distress and self-evaluation. That will be the control, anger control. Now, assertive expressions of feelings are also most important. A person speaks in a firm tone. A person makes I statements. Now, passive expression of feelings are also very important. We should take care of them. Aggressive expression of feelings. A person yells or screams to get his point across. This aggressive feeling is not good. A person uses abusive, distressful language when addressing the other person. The person does not let the other person talk. She dominates the conversation, or in extreme cases, the person becomes physically threatening or abusive. The person bottles up feelings until he explodes. This is known as passive aggressive behavior. The person does harmful things or hurtful things to make herself feel better rather than express her feelings assertively sometimes. The person feels better in the short run because she has let the other person have it, but other person in hurt, the relationship is damaged, and the aggressive person probably does not have an overall good feeling about the way she has handled the situation. So, the anger management. We have benefits of anger management. We will be discussing here management techniques and how to get out of the bad mood, how to improve poise, control anger outbursts, and forgive when someone hurts you. Now, the benefits of anger management is in the situations of out of proportion, give up the fight. Biggest enemies of the human being's body and soul is anger. Increasing stress, the blood pressure, and causing other forms of danger too during the anger. So, it impairs judgment, hurting them in anger. Learn to channelize in a better ways, in ways that are constructive rather than destructive and harmful to the individual. The judgment. Now, if you are having anger management, there are a lot of advantages. The first one is judgment. We all know that anger makes us incapable of being able to take stock of the situation well, impairing our better judgment and making us prone to making mistakes in sound reasoning. We will have better communication, there will be empathy and fewer disputes and closer and more healthy relationships. What are these anger management techniques? For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. That's what Ralph Waldo Emerson he said. In the techniques, there is an anger triangle. Visible outside is anger. Under the surface is other emotions and values and beliefs. Developing empathy, ability to love, moral reasoning, and impulse control. Responding. Responding lies in with companies if you want to respond, assessments, employability, strengthening bond with neighboring institutions, behavioral and language competency, management skills and upgrading knowledge. All this you will be able to do. You can respond in a much better way. Communication with yourself, self and others. You have a language. So action and change and consciousness and reflection. All this will be seen. Then communicating effectively, learning actively, accept accountability, think critically and creatively, communicate effectively. So all these things will happen if anger management is in control. Adjusting expectations, like be respectable, be responsible, be ready. Forgiving. Forgiveness is something we do for other people. We do it for ourselves to get well and move on. Time out. Sometimes when you are very angry, time out. Take out your time from everybody. Be alone and sit down. How to get out of a bad mood? First thing we should know, why am I in such a bad mood? See, from bad mood you can come to good mood too. I am in a very bad mood, so nobody better mess with me today, boys. It is the way you come out with your bad moods. In case you feel that talking to someone about your personal thoughts is not possible, you could write them down. When you are very angry, you can also do this. Take a slip and write down the things, and then, while some people maintain diaries in today's internet age, they write blogs. You can write down. Sometimes take a walk, like walk or change the scene. Don't stand there. You can just go off, do a good exercise, take a cup of coffee, or dance. Create outlets like poetry, painting, pottery. Do something away from the situation so that your anger mood will come down. How to improve your voice? Voiceness is the most important thing. For behind beautiful eyes, look for good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness. And for the voice, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone. Sometimes you can poise with the physical voice improvement. Do a flying bird pose and yoga exercise. Crane pose, that is Hakasana, you can do, or you can do Hamsasana. Mental poise improvement is a concentration. We need concentration. Usually when we are angry, we lose concentration. So we need concentration. So do that concentration. Don't judge yourself. If you are angry, immediately don't judge yourself saying, oh, I am like this. Relax. Be in a relaxed position. Hold your head high always. You should know how to control your anger outbursts. First, avoid loud speech. Breathe and then curtail swearing. That is called ABC of anger control. Stay in control of your anger. Don't let your anger control you. Now, deep breathing. Tune to your music. motivation and yoga will be the most important thing, especially managing your anger, especially when you are angry. Energy conversation you should have. What's behind it? You should know how you have to do it. Believe in flow. Yeah. Objectively. Forget someone you hurt you. Forgive them and forget who has hurted you. How you should decode your anger. How will you decode your anger? First, decode your anger with whom you are, what you are doing, when you are doing, where you are doing, why you are doing, how you are doing it, and forget what has happened. Allow others to apologize. Communicate with the hurt. Realize that everyone is human being. Let time heal. So, doing all these things is an anger management. So, anger management is a better situation. Would you rather control your anger or be free? So, there is a very good method called Sedona method. It is an anger management technique which will help you to achieve your goals. Excuse me. It will help you from your fear, experience the freedom from long-standing emotional challenges such as fear, anxiety, anger management, depression, and emotional trauma. Put an end once for all for struggling to quit smoking, drinking, overeating, and other impulsive, addictive, or self-defeating behaviors. So let us discuss about this Sedona method. What is this Sedona method? What is the Sedona method? This method is a unique, simple, powerful, easy to learn and duplicate the technique. This technique has already helped hundreds of thousands of people. So what makes a Sedona a powerful tool is a process you can use anytime, any place to improve any area of your life. Now, Sedona method is simple to use. It works in a moment. There is no need to dwell on the past. The results are lasting and accumulate over time. The scientifically proven Sedona method has the opposite effect. It is universally applicable. How it works? A sample releasing process is the first way is by choosing to let go of the unwanted feelings. The second way is to welcome the feeling, to allow the emotion just to be. And the third way is to dive into the very core of the emotion. So, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence obtains emotional mastery. As emotional intelligence, does emotional intelligence is a success? Yes, emotional intelligence, as Goldman defined, 5 critical skills that make up emotional intelligence are emotional intelligence factors: knowing one's emotion, managing emotions, handling feelings so they are appropriate, recognizing emotions in others' empathy is the fundamental people skill. Handling relationship, the art of relationship is in a large part skill in managing emotions in others. Increase your level of emotional intelligence with the Sedona method. Experience your true nature. What is our true nature? We are all unlimited. Yes, we are all unlimited. You can attend an anger management class if you want. You can see a counselor. You can get anger management therapy if you are having a you are not able to come out of your anger. Your key to going beyond anger management, the Sedona method you can apply. See, hear and feel your negativity dissolve on the spot. So anger management is a better solution for all these things. A better solution how? Now, does this sound like you or someone you know? Do you wish you had more control over your emotions in stressful situations? So think of it. Eliminate all your anxiety and fear with the Sedona method. Now, how do we do it? Now, with the Sedona method, does your mind start racing or your heart start pounding out of the blue? Do you suddenly feel dizzy, sweaty, out of control, or your stomach feels tied in knots for no reason? Do you suddenly feel like you cannot breathe even when there is plenty of air? Do you have scary, recurring thoughts and feelings that make no sense? All these feelings will have you get into your anxiety. Then you have to freedom yourself from depression. Are you experiencing any of these signs of depression? Persistent feelings of sadness, irritability or anxiety, overreaction to our irritations, loss of interest in activities previously enjoyed, or sleep too much or sleep too little. Now all these will get you into depression. So come out of it. Freedom, free yourself with. So there is a clinical depression too. The term clinical depression refers to any form of depression that requires some form of treatment in order to alleviate. So we have to understand a clinical depression too. Now have boundless energy and sleep soundly with the Sedona method. Now this is more important thing. You should have good sleep. Do you wish was as easier way to get a good night's sleep? Do you wish to have a more energy? So you could meditate yourself for this. Cognitive behavior therapy can be taken. Suppression and expression. Most important. Suppression means keeping a lid on our emotions, pushing them back down, denying them, repressing them, or pretending they don't exist, or any emotion that comes into awareness that is not let go of is automatically stored in a part of our mind called the subconscious. Dear friends, what Sedona can do, what happens may surprise you. Be aware that sometimes there can be surprises, pleasant ones to be sure, but none unexpected. So, anger manage. How do you manage your anger? Identify your feelings, as we said. Then recognize your anger. That's what we also said. Then coping skills with assertion training. That's the most important thing. Stress the two important parts of the statement, labeling feelings using I statements and explaining why the behavior of others or the situation was upsetting. Now for anger control, that's the most important thing. The first step is prepare for the provocation. That's what we said. How to prepare, confront the provocation, then coping with the arousal and distress and self-evaluation is the most important. Information on assertive behavior is assertive expression of feelings and a person speaks in a firm tone. Now all this passive expression of feelings, all this is very important. So anger control aggressive expression of feelings, all these need to be taken up. There are anger management worksheets. Please go ahead and do the anger management worksheet. Thank you. Welcome friends. Today we will be discussing about assertiveness. If life is a successful one, we need 32% of accountability, 17% of professionalism, and 18% of others, but 33% of assertiveness. So this stands highest in our life. The assertive skills pertain to a person's ability to communicate effectively in such a way that opinions, feelings, and needs are expressed well to one or more people. Assertiveness involves being able to speak up your mind, being able to say no when needed, and being able to utilize body language as a supplemental form of communication. Now, what should be the objectives of this training? This is a self-paced training, and you will be able to understand the importance of assertive skills in building your career, know the different ways to develop and enhance assertive skills, learn the difference between assertiveness, aggressiveness, and passiveness. Know how to use your assertive skills in communication. Know how to use your assertive skills in managing people. Difference. Aggressiveness is different and assertiveness is different. We should have assertiveness. And in this, you will have people who are more assertive, and you will have people how to handle bullying at workplace and know when to be assertive. Types of assertive managers, assertive communication, how to speak to your mind, role of assertiveness in career building, how to manage stress, importance of being firm without being rude, learn how to say no, non-verbal assertive communication, how to use your body language, how to avoid conflict, and how to become more assertive. Now we also will know more about the ways to become more assertive. So let us see the different ways to become more assertive. The role of time is being very assertive. That's the most important thing. Then responsibility. Assertiveness steps are: say what you see, say how you feel, say what you want, and walk away. Keep yourself safe. Dear friends, draw your clear boundaries. That's the most important aspect, and avoid trying to control. The moment you try to control, and you feel very bad if the other person is not listening. So it is better always say, why should I control? Let it be over. Let me do my job. Advising is different. Controlling is different. We don't want to control. We can advise them. Always keep your boundaries up. Dear friends, assertiveness is a way of communicating effectively. Being assertiveness, people will understand. You should know how you have to give it. Importance of being firm without being rude. That's the most important thing. Assertive people tend to be the masters of this art. You should deal with the people without resorting to aggression. You should also know being firm without being rude can be thought of as being an art in itself. An assertive person is someone who is master of this art. One technique for being firm without being rude is the mirror effect. Being assertive brings you respect. When you are assertive, people tend to have a lot of respect for you. They will respect you because you are an individual who will not allow yourself to be pushed around, but you refrain from offending others at the same time. Learn how to say no. While there are many ways to define the term assertiveness, some people describe it as ability to say no. The reason is because the manner in which you say no can mean the difference between coming across as being assertive and coming across being aggressive. Now you are wrong, you don't care, you hurt me. You are wrong, I don't agree. You don't care, I feel ignored. You hurt me, I feel hurt. The repercussions of each act. So controlling your emotions is very important. Assertive person will handle the situation in a manner that shows the other person they will not allow themselves to be walked on, but they also do it in a way that is respectful. What is non-verbal communication in assertiveness? Assertiveness is defined as the ability to stand up for yourself without being overly rude or aggressive at the same time. A person who is non-assertive will often be either one of two things, and this is aggressive or passive. Non-verbal assertive communication is a form of communication in which you are assertive without saying anything. That's a very great act, without saying anything and being assertive. So here what happens is the importance of assertive listening. The first step towards performing non-verbal assertiveness is to listen to what is being said to you. When you listen to people, you let them know that you understand what they are saying. You allow people to know that you understand what they are trying to say to you. So develop the pathway. Now, bad verbal assertiveness is also there. There are a number of ways you can communicate bad signals to those who come in contact with you. And some of those things include little eye contact, means you don't see them at all. You see somewhere else and talk to them. Gestures which make you seem nervous or slouching. Know when you should be assertive. Yeah, assertiveness, but we should also know when we should be assertive. There may be many scenarios in which being people assertive. The first type of scenario in which you will want to be assertive in a situation where someone is requesting something from you, something which is valuable. The two things that people will request from anyone is their time and money. Traits of an assertive manager. High-level executives and managers are generally very assertive. But we should also know sometimes we are human beings. So if they use their positions of power and authority in order to belittle, intimidate and control those beneath them, it will cause a lot of trouble and loss of respect over the long term. Employees will begin to resent such executives and managers. Passiveness, aggressiveness and assertiveness. An aggressive manager tends to be an individual who is quick to anger. They will usually bang their fist on the desk when an employee does something wrong, and they have no problem raising their voice or yelling at their subordinates. So assertiveness is an essential skill for life and work. Now, how an assertive manager have to take all these things? When it is time for disciplinary action against an employee, the assertive manager has no problem with it. While they are not rude to the employee when reprimanding them, they are not nice either. They make it clear to the employee why they are in trouble. How to use your body language. Your body language communicates a lot more than your words. Since communication plays an important role in the art of being assertive, you must learn how to use your body in a manner which shows others are an assertive individual. When you talk to people, it is the first important to hold your chin up. You can't have the chin down like this and talk. Chin up should be. You want to keep it even with the person you are talking with, looking at them directly. If you hold your head up too high, people will think you are arrogant. But if you hold it too low, they will think you are a pushover. Holding your chin straight ahead with lots of eye contact is the best way to behave. When you stand up or sit down, it is important for you to maintain an upright posture. When you shake someone's hand, you should give them a nice firm shake hand, but not too firm or soft. Another good form of body language is to hold your hands in such as way that your palms are pointing upward. Generally, upward palms will convey a sign of trust, while closed and clenched palms will convey distress and even aggression. It is also important to avoid crossing your arms, as this is a defensive gesture and tells others that you are not interested in them. So, the critical role of eye contact. While a lot of people know that eye contact is important when communicating with others, many do not realize that there are different types of eye contact, and there are certain times when one of the eye contact is favored over another. With this form of eye contact, as opposed to looking directly into their eyes, you want to look directly at their forehead. Don't look into their eyes, look at their forehead. By using this form of eye contact, you show the person you are talking with that you mean business. So your eye contact can convey many things. When someone is talking to you and you are looking at someone else other than them, it can show signs that you are either shy or deceitful. Other behaviors, such as looking at your watch, sends a sign that you would rather be some place elsewhere. When a person is lying to you, they will generally not look into your eyes. So, how can we avoid conflict? Conflict is something that causes a lot of stress, and it occurs on many scales. It can range from small conflicts between family members or friends to large conflicts between countries. Regardless, conflict is a source of stress, and while small amount of stress can be good, too much stress can become deadly. How to become more assertive? While developing the crucial skill will take time and patience, there are a number of things you can do to start becoming more assertive today. The first step in becoming more assertive is to be clear and concise when it comes to communicating with others. This skill requires you to become good at telling people exactly how you feel, regardless of what they think. Being a good listener. People who are not assertive tend to be poor when it comes to listening to others. When they talk with others, they rarely give their individual undivided attention, and they often let the words spoken to them into one ear and out the other. When you are a good listener, you will be more assertive with others simply because you will understand what is being said. Dear friends, let us look into the assertive communication. Communication is directly connected to being assertive. People are the essence of business, whether they are managers or employees. Working as a business owner or employee requires you to be an effective communicator, and you must know how to present yourself in the right manner. Many people tend to think that success in business requires them to be rational and logical. They must always remember is that the human element is also critically important. Dear friends, how to speak your mind? When it comes to speaking their mind, the vast majority of people in this world fall under either one or two categories. They either speak their minds without considering the feelings of others, or they do not speak their minds at all. You just know how to speak your mind without offending a lot of people at the same time. Sometimes you don't want to hurt people, but still you have to speak out. And sometimes, unless you hurt them, they don't come out. Unless you provoke them, they don't come out to speak. But it is not always. Paying attention to what you say. It is always a bad idea to speak your mind without taking the time to think before you speak. Think twice before you speak. As they say, before you jump, you have to think twice. The same way, when you speak, think it over. When you speak, what will be the consequences? If you speak like this will be the consequences. And if you speak like that, this will be the. So you accept the consequence, then you speak out. For example, if you speak something, people might not like and may leave you. Then you feel you are ready for losing them, but the situation had to be under control. So speak out so that you might lose the person, but the situation will be under control. If you are really interested in the situation. If you say something which hurts someone, you may try to repair the damage by apologizing, but depending on the circumstances, the damage may be done. While people will hear you, they will not listen with attention, or if they do, they will only hear the negative things that you said. They don't understand, they will not read in between the lines what you really mean. Role of assertiveness in career building. Yes, friends, one reason why assertiveness can allow you to enhance your career is because those who are assertive tend to be those who are able to reach higher goals and achieve bigger ambitions. To become more assertive, there are a number of important things that you will want to keep in mind. Dear friends, self-confidence and assertiveness goes together. You will never become more assertive if you do not have confidence in yourself. To become more assertive, there are a lot of separate skills that you will need to develop, and it can be argued that self-confidence is the most important of these. If you are the type of person who has low self-esteem, or you are constantly worried about what others think of you, then you are an individual who is lacking when it comes to self-confidence. Getting what you want in life. We live in a world where everyone looks out for themselves. This means that no one has any problem walking over you at any time. It is up to you to go out and get what you want in life, no matter what that is. But to do that, you have to become an assertive individual. You must be able to get what you want without stepping on all the toes of those around you. While being assertive can get you far, you will often fall, and when you do, you tend to fall very hard. How to manage stress then? We will be talking in detail in the stress management, but here, to be assertive, you have to know how to manage the stress too. People who are assertive tend to be those who have much lower levels of stress. One reason for this is because they are able to express their feelings in others in a manner which is not offensive, but in a way that gets their point across. While assertiveness is a skill that some people naturally have, for others it is something that must be learned. The primary reason why being assertive can allow you to reduce stress is simply because personal conflicts with others often leads to stress. Dear friends, assertiveness and aggressiveness most often go together. So you have to be very careful. An aggressive individual is a person who will use underhanded tactics to get what they want. So you should be assertive. You might express in aggressive way, but aggressiveness with assertiveness, no. So when they are offended by a person, they are quick to explode, get into fights and start arguments. Aggressive people often tend to be those who have bad tempers, and they are often manipulative as well. Another personality trait which is negative is someone who is passive. A passive person is often incapable of communicating their feelings to others, and because of this, people tend to walk over them, either intentionally or inadvertently. Being assertive is the way to find balance. The first step towards being assertive is to find out which category you fall under. Are you quick to stand up for yourself, or do you tend to give people a lot of slack? Are you only aggressive, quick to explode and get into arguments with those around you? If you fall under other extreme, you will want to focus on becoming more moderate. Being moderate will allow your stress levels to be normal, healthy, and you will be enjoying a much fuller life. So, being assertive, some tips are expectation. Prepare yourself mentally and set your expectations clear to others. Do not expect others to read what is on your mind. Articulate exactly what you expect from others and reason behind your expectations. Create positive boundaries to know what you are most comfortable at. Physical presence. Your body language plays a major role in determining what others feel about you. Always hold your head up high, not like this, but straight, to show that you are a force to be reckoned with. If you look intimidated, others too would be nervous and anxious. So make sure that you do not intimidate others. Use of voice. The tone of voice has a major impact on whether you will be heard or not. Sustain your voice by taking a deep breath and think about the message that you would be conveying. Do not raise your voice in manner of shouting, nagging, whining, and so on. Instead, simply state your message in a matter of fact voice. Be prepared. When you are prepared, you will speak with more authority and be better able to deal with things coming up. When speaking in a group of people, plan in advance your speech. Dear friend, this would give you a boost to your confidence level and make you feel positive and secure. Create rapport. Connect with the group that you are speaking to during the introduction itself. For a positive impact on the person or group, be open, friendly, smile, and feel in control of the situation. Creating a good rapport would ensure effective communication. Think of the language you use. The language that you use while conversing is extremely important. Start off with a positive statement to set the tone for the conversation. Never ask people to do you a favor, else they will consider doing a favor as a part of their job. Use the I language, such as I want, I feel, to acknowledge the other person's feelings or situations and stand up for their rights. Remember to thank. If people have done as expected by you, acknowledge their efforts by thanking them. This will incline the people to put themselves out again in the future. A sense of gratitude and a smile on the face can do wonders for you. Dear friend, if you cannot get what you want, if you are not able to achieve success, do not threaten, bully, or shout. Be calm, persistent, and stay in control. Repeat yourself again and ask your audience to consider the implications of not doing as required by you. Dear friends, now this is assertiveness, assertive skills. Let us do a small questionnaire. I request you to answer a questionnaire on assertive skills and send it to us. Thank you.